Hello everyone. We have done with the nature and the importance of the international business. In today's class, we are going to speak about the approaches of the international business. International business approaches are similar to the stages of the internationalization or the globalization. So that means the globalization steps or the stages and the approaches of the international business both are same. And this is advocated by the Douglas Wind and Perlmutter. And the four steps: ethnocentric approach, polycentric approach, regiocentric approach, and geocentric approach. So let's see one by one. Ethnocentric approach. So in ethnocentric approach, excessive productions more than the demand for a product, either due to competition or due to changes in the customer's preference, push the company to export the excessive production to the foreign countries. Here, a company is not going to focus on the international trade or the demand on other countries at the beginning. Once they meet the domestic demand, then the excessive production what is there, they are going to export it into the foreign countries. The domestic company continues the exports to the foreign countries and views the foreign markets as an extension to the domestic markets, just like a new region. There is no separate policies at the beginning. They are going to fulfill the demands of the domestic market, and if there is excessive production only, then they are going to send or they export their products to the international market. The company exports the same products designed to the domestic market. There is no changes in the products. Maintenance of the domestic approach towards the international business is called as ethnocentric approach. So they are going to maintain the same domestic approach towards the international business too, and that's why this is called as ethnocentric approach. So let's see some of the management aspects, how this international trade is managed in the ethnocentric approach. So this particular approach is suitable to the companies during the early days of the internationalization and also to the smaller companies. So for those companies who are the beginners in international trade and for some of the small companies, this particular approach will be helpful, and there is no separate management is kept for the international trade. So there is no separate management, only the domestic managers who are there, the managing director or the hierarchy are going to take the decisions about the international trade, and no separate human resource or the employees are managed for this international trade. We'll go for a polycentric approach. In short, see, under this approach, companies establish the foreign subsidiary and empowers its executive. They are going to establish a separate subsidiary. In the graph itself, you can see under the managing director, CEO of a foreign subsidiary is also there, and in this particular example, the foreign country is Uganda. Fine. The domestic companies which are exporting to the foreign countries using the ethnocentric approach find the later stage that the foreign markets need a altogether different approach. In the future days, they are going to find that they need a different approach. The ethnocentric approach is not suitable at that time. So the company established a foreign subsidiary company and decentralizes all the operations and delegates the decision making and a policy making authority to its executives. Here the delegation of authority is there, and managing director is not going to take the decision. The CEO of the foreign subsidiary is going to take the decisions regarding that international aspect, and he is going to report that aspects and about the decisions to the managing director. In fact, the company appoints executives and personnel, including the chief executives, who reports directly to the managing director of the company. Company appoints the key personnel from the home country, and all other vacancies are filled by the people of the host. So as I informed, in a foreign country, the key personnel or the decision making persons are from the home country itself if there is a subsidiary, and other executives are appointed from the host country. Okay, ethnocentric approach, there is no separate manager is appointed, whereas in the polycentric approach the separate manager is appointed for the management of the particular country's business. So regiocentric approach, under the approach subsidiaries consider the regional environment for policy or strategy formulation. Okay, so here under regiocentric approach the subsidiaries also will consider the PESTLE, political environment, economical environment, social, cultural, technological and legal environment they are going to consider. Okay, the company after operating successfully in a foreign country by using the polycentric approach thinks of exporting to the neighboring countries of the host country. Okay, and they are trying to expand their business to the neighboring countries of their host country. At this stage the foreign subsidiary considers the regional environment, for example Asian environment like law, culture, policies. So this is what the PESTLE analysis. So they are going to consider each and everything for formulating the policies and strategies. Okay, for the policy formulation and the strategy formulation this is needed. So in this particular graph we can understand that the CEO of subsidiary of South Africa is there and he is going to report to the managing director, and CEO of subsidiary of South Africa is going to appoint few executives like a marketing executive of a different country, marketing executive of another country and the marketing executives of another country. So like this the executives are appointed. So in ethnocentric approach there is no different strategy for the international trade. Under polycentric approach there is a different strategies, but just a subsidiary is formed. In regiocentric approach with the subsidiary they are going to consider the regional environment and they are going to expand their business to the neighbor countries of the host country where already they are developed their business. The first stage is the geocentric approach. So under this approach the companies view the entire world as a single country. So this is what the meaning of the globalization. You know about this, right? The globalization means treating the whole globe as one particular market. Under this approach the entire world is just like a single country for the company. Okay, they are going to see all the globe or the complete market which they hold as a single market or the single country. They select the employees from the entire globe and operate with a number of subsidiaries. Okay, or different subsidiaries are there in the different countries. The headquarters coordinates the activities of the subsidiaries. Okay, so once they are developed their business in a different countries, then they are going to establish the subsidiaries in those countries and they are going to manage it from the headquarters. Each subsidiary functions like an independent and autonomous company in formulating policies, strategies, product design, human resource policies, operations, etc. Okay, so here there is an independence of making the policy, strategies, product designs for the each country since the business is developed. Okay, so these are the stages of the globalization or the approaches of the business. Ethnocentric approach where no separate approach or the strategy is formed for the international business, and under polycentric approach there is a need of the separate strategy for the international trade, and that's why a subsidiary is developed, and once the subsidiary is developed the company is willing to expand their business into the neighboring countries of their host country where they are already developed their business. So they are going to consider the regional environment of that particular country and they are going to appoint the experts in a different countries. So once they are developed their business in a different countries, then they are going to treat the whole globe or the complete market as one particular country, and they are going to operate or control those operations from the headquarters, and there will be some subsidiaries in different countries. So that's it for today's class.